Heading out to make another day Odyssey video. Here's how we're getting there. Here's where we pick up the first of those routes. Interstate 70. Heading west, of course. We set out around 6:30. So let's see when we arrive at Kaiser's Ridge. As the raindrops earlier, they appear to be gone now. It's great leaving earlier because the road's a lot emptier. As usual, the way station's closed. Maybe because it's a holiday weekend. Why is it closed when there's no holiday? Still an occasional raindrop. Now surmounting Parr's Ridge, along with the Mount Airy exit. There are times you get nice distant views from up here. Some mountains are beginning to show up. Then more there in the distance. The road's almost all mine. The mountains are getting closer. And closer yet. Now passing through the Frederick area. Holiday weekend, obviously. And ascending our first mountain, Catoctin. And up here at the very top. Next mountains are going to be South Mountain in the distance there. And now ascending South Mountain. And ascending the other side into the Hagerstown Valley. Trying to get the valley down there. Our next mountain will be Tuscarora, way in the distance. Around the Hagerstown area. Making good progress so far, even with an off-camera pit stop that I made. And the sun's out. Hopefully no more rain. Interstate 70 is also known as the Dwight D. Eisenhower Highway, but no one ever calls it that. One of my favorite spots, obviously. And up here, what I call the idiot sign. There are two 68s, and some folks get freaked out over it. We're now bending around Tuscarora Mountain. This road, instead of crossing it, as the National Pike does, bends around it. next mountain in the distance. There we go, Sideling Hill. But first, we gotta bypass Hancock. This area here is Maryland's narrowest point. Only about a couple miles wide here. But up ahead, we depart I-70. 70 goes that way towards Breezewood on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Now we're on Interstate 68. And a truck had better pass. And Sideling Hill is getting closer. We'll pass through the cut that you see up there. And now ascending Sideling Hill. And about to pass through the cut. There's a visitors center up here that explains the geology of this cut. It's a syncline. That is to say, it's in shape of a U, the formations there. Even a couple of coal veins there. They could have greened this over when they cut it through, but they left it like that for all to see the geology. I tried. The next mountain in the distance you see there is Town Hill. Shown in a couple of my other day Odysseys. And there's Town Hill. The old Pike crosses Town Hill. This highway takes a lower summit. Rest area up there too, I've shown you. Oops, out of sight. And up there is Green Ridge. Another part of it in front of us there. And now we're crossing Polish Mountain, so named because it's steeper on one side than the other. As I keep saying, you can't make up stuff like this. I've still got the mountains, and we'll have them for a while. Passing the Flintstone area. Our next metropolis will be Cumberland. And now crossing Martin Mountain. Again, one of those cool signs. And out descending into Cumberland. More of the town there. Even the spires of Cumberland. And right there, the Western Maryland Railway Station, again operating as such, with tourist trains. We will soon ascend a plateau and go about 3,000 feet up. More of Cumberland there. Known as the Queen City of the Alleghenies. That mountain over there is in West Virginia, actually. And now to begin our ascent up 3,000 feet. Typical of the scenery around here. This area once contained several rail lines passing through here before they built the freeway, even a couple of railroad tunnels, but all long taken out. Even a streetcar line, all gone now. Now passing the Frostburg area, home of State College. And now ascending Big Savage Mountain into Garrett County, Maryland's westernmost county. And here we are. Garrett County, Maryland's great northwest. Now we're on a plateau about 3,000 feet up. Distance, Negro Mountain. Gotta get off here because I gotta go to a spot and pick up another video where I left off. And a good spot for a video intermission. The Casselman River Bridge, over 200 years old. Once carried the National Pike. As I showed you in one of my day Odyssey videos. What we got as far as here today, the Route 40 dead end, here in Ohio. So I guess from here we'll take 70 back, along with I-68. Once we get back by reasonable time. Part of the road that we saw earlier, we were just on. And now back on 70, heading back east. Now we depart Ohio for West Virginia, passing through Wheeling. And up here, the Wheeling Tunnel. It goes beneath a ridge. I feel like I'm inside of a whale. Now I know how Jonah felt and what he saw. He saw this. And that was it. I'm in Pennsylvania now, obviously. The freeways get you around quick, but you can go for miles and not see anything. So it's a toss-up. Over there is Washington, PA. And the road roof where I used to stay once upon a time. And a CSX line. But again, more road work here. Typical of Pennsylvania. But here we temporarily depart I-70 in favor of 79. It's shorter to take 79 south to 68 east than it is to stay on 70. And plus it's cheaper that way, because 70 for a few miles follows the PA Turnpike and you gotta pay a toll. So it's longer and more expensive to stay on 70. So we're going this way. South on this road, then to east to 68, outside of Morgantown, West Virginia. Up here we pass beneath the National Pike. Yep. We've seen that before. Exit for a place I'll never see. Actually, I've been through Prosperity a few times. I've then gone broke. I got passed through once or twice. But I recall some late nights going back on this road after dark. And after dark, this road just seemed so desolate. Like a middle of nowhere appearance, which is where it is anyway. But at night it seems so desolate going through here. 15, 20 years back. Interesting how at one time they tried running roads as straight as possible. But straightness would lead to boredom. People would become complacent and fall asleep on a straight road. And after that, they began building roads with curves to keep people alert and awake. That's why you don't see very many straight roads these days. Because the curves make the roads safer. Because they keep you alert. Interesting. More information there for you. Now you can amaze all your friends. Back in West Virginia. And now passing through Morgantown. Some of it over there. And here's where you pick up Interstate 68 eastbound, as mentioned earlier. Take 68 as far as Hancock, Maryland, where we regain Interstate 70. As I said, it's actually shorter this way. How does one pronounce that? Sabreton? Sabratton? Lately I've been horrible with pronunciations. And now to recross the Appalachians. Or is that Appalachians? As I said, I've been terrible with pronunciations recently. I know what. We're about to recross the Alleghenies. There, can't go wrong with that one. Nice resort over there in Cheat Lake. And now for our Allegheny crossing. It's just after 6 now, and we left Ohio around 4. I just crossed back into Maryland. This is Garrett County. Over there is Friendsville. Check out those cars. Chevys from the 50s. Maybe one day I'll have one. And again, Negro Mountain. One of the cool things in this county. As I keep saying, you can't make up stuff like that. And there's more cool stuff here too. And we have that in this county. And that. A continental divide. But because we're so high up in this county, around 3,000 feet, it's always about 10 or 20 degrees colder than back in the city. From this point, we're going back the same way we came out. We're the same route you saw earlier bringing us out here, but we were going the other way. Departed Garrett County, and now for the descent into Cumberland. Gotta watch these drivers though. They come in front of you and don't let you know they're doing it. And that sign again. I'll take all those. And back in Cumberland. I took a night shot there looking down at the lights about 30 years ago. That's some more of Cumberland as we depart. My radio station. Should have tuned them in. Been driving all day. I can't wait to get back, to be honest with you. But until we're able to hyperwarp, this freeway is the next best thing. And again, Sideling Hill. And also again, the cut. With a couple of coal veins up there. As I said before, that's a syncline. And more mountain scenery. Just for you. And up here, as mentioned, we regain I-70. As I mentioned earlier, you're better off not staying on 70. It's shorter and cheaper to take the route that we took. South on 79 and east on 68. In fact, we departed 70 here on the way out, as you recall. But from here back to town, the road is rather nondescript. Except for the occasional mountain view, maybe. That's the reason I'm not taking too much video right now. Also the fact that my car adapter for my battery charger keeps blowing fuses. I can't charge the camera battery back up until I get another adapter to work with it. Oh well. Anyway, once again, there's South Mountain. And there's Catoctin again. Now back in the Frederick area. About an hour's ride back from here. And now the sun starts to set. And another one of our days out. Seems like the sun sets whenever we go out. And what did I just say? Never mind. I don't know. We left Ohio about 4 p.m. Now it's almost 8:15. And 280 miles further down the road. 280 from Ohio. Wow. Let's look at about 25 more. And now via some time lapse, back in the Baltimore area. We're also back in the busy suburbia with a nice sunset sky. Too bad about the way some folks are driving on this holiday weekend. Big difference in speed too. Doing 75 miles an hour on I-70, but cut back to 55 here. It feels like I just hit a brick wall or something. But up here we depart the interstate system. And head back to the city lights. We see an occasional fireworks display. I think tomorrow's the 4th. And now here be the lights of the city. And now here are the lights of the hood. And I better get on in. I'm tuckered out. Drove over 300 miles today round trip. About 320, 330, something like that. So, when you get a chance, watch the Odyssey video that I made today too. The second part of the National Pike. Alright, happy holiday. Thanks for coming along.